Hi, everybody. Today, Shell and I were playing with things for the holidays, making ornaments and gifts that we will share with friends and family. And I have these wooden blocks that are kind of shaped like a house. You know, they've got a little peak on the roof. And so I was painting them out. I used some DecoArt chalk paint and then used some weathered wood over the top of that, and then painted it with another light color of chalk paint. And that gives a wonderful crackle effect. You do need to let these layers dry, so you can see that as I started the program, I already had 2 layers painted up. And I'm going to paint both the front and back of these because, you know, you can put different letters on either side and make it a dual purpose present. So yeah, I continue to paint these out and then set them aside to dry. And while they're drying, I'm going to work on another project. I made several different ornaments for this live show. And um, Shell made a wonderful ornament also, and she also had a template for people to use. So, go check out her video and see. So I plan on using large letters on these wooden pieces, and you can see that because there are 4 of these little houses, I can use both the front and back, and I can put at least 2 words on these. So I'm going to use Noel and home for my project. Now I'm going to move on to doing some, these paper rolls for your paper towels, your wax paper, your aluminum foil, all that stuff. You can cut those up into these 1/2 inch slices and then glue them together and arrange the pieces any way that you like because they become little snowflake. Uh, and so I'm just demonstrating how to cut these at different lengths and glue the pieces together and create another type of ornament. Now, once I glue these things together, I spray paint them, and while they're still wet with the paint, I'll sprinkle on some glitter, and it will adhere to the paint, and then I'll have a sparkly little snowflake. So there's one that I've already got a first layer of paint onto. I'm gluing up another one, just a simple petal shape. And then I'm showing the different glitters that you can get to adorn this with. So I'm using Liquitex spray paint. This happens to be something that's a little bit safer to use in an enclosed area than your standard spray paint that you would get at a Walmart or something. If you're using that other type, I'd say take it outdoors. Do not use that stuff in your studio. And always observe precautionary measures. Use a respirator, do what you need to do to preserve your lungs and live a little bit longer. So now I'm working on the next project, which is another type of ornament. And I'm showing how to score and how to cut different shapes and, just paper type things to create a rosette. So there are lots of different ways to do this. You can do your cutting with scissors. You can do cutting with die cuts. You can do cutting with punches. And you can score different ways. You can score on a scoreboard, or you can score in your paper cutter trimmer. You know, there's lots of different ways that you can do these things. There's no right or wrong. I'm just showing you how you would go about doing it and, giving you the basics so that you can take it from there. Excuse me. So, yeah, you do Mountain Valley fold on this and get your zigzag going. And I'm talking so much that I'm not paying attention and I'm actually gluing too many pieces together here. You'll see me fumble as I try to put this together. This is a really small one. It's not the big piece that I was doing. The one I was doing was going to be about 6 inches across, and this is only, I don't know, maybe not even 2 inches. So I probably only needed those two pieces that I was gluing there, but I was just in the mode and showing people what to do and showing them how to glue it all down and then pull it in and slap and get it all together. And yeah, I end up tearing a piece out of there because it really was just too long for as small pieces as that was. So I'm struggling. I was having a struggling day. Uh, I spilled glitter all over myself. I glued myself to stuff. It was just kind of a comedy of errors kind of day, but I persevered and I actually got a few things made. So you can see me fumble through this one, and you'll see me figure out, oh gee, I've got too much there, and I'm just gonna squish it up and glue those ends together and make it a little bit smaller. And yeah, still struggling, still trying to get it together. All right, maybe now I'll get it. Okay, starting to come together. Now I'm going to take that little embellishment, which is an old earring, and I'm going to glue it to the center of this. This is some of that really pretty pearlized paper, came out of a paper pack. Now this is one that I had done just with some craft color paper, and I'd used a Martha Stewart punch to punch the edge. And of course I got big circle punches and things to do my centerpiece with, but this was an old sticker. I had stickers that I found in my stash, and I just punched it out and put it in the center of my medallion. And now I'm showing these domes, which are actually ornaments. There you go. Now you can see the whole thing. Um, these are ornaments, and they come in two parts so that you can stuff them and put stuff inside. Well, um, yeah, I decide that that's going to make a little snow globe over the top of this particular, yeah, and there I go again, putting too much stuff in. And there I go again, spilling more glitter all over. I tell you, I was having a day. So I'm just going to glue that piece around the edge, and then I'm going to try to position it. And of course, I can't even get that positioned right. Did I tell you I was having one of those days? Okay, so got it glued down, going to get some twine and figure out what I'm going to do to hang this thing. Of course, I probably should have put that on there before I ever glued it down. So I'll have to struggle with that today too. But yeah, today seemed to be all about my struggles. So I'm just going to knot that up and that'll be ready to roll, and that will be another ornament. So you can see you can make a lot of different ornaments and things for people for gifts and for their trees. And yep, going to glue that one down on the back and cover up my glue mess. And that's finished, and we'll move on to the next thing. So I'm just going to show how to hang this one. I'm tying a knot, nice big knot in my thread, and then I'm going to poke a hole in the top of my card there and string it through with a needle, and voila, I have a hanger for my little snowflake. So that one's good to go. And I was suggesting that you use some glossy accents or some kind of stronger adhesive if you're going to put adornments on those, because they're going to take a little bit of abuse, and you need something that's going to stick and hold. So now we're down to finishing out these houses. So I'm going to get my letters, and I'm going to glue them down on the house, and I'm going to use some of my varnish that I make with DecoArt varnish and some DecoArt media paint. It just thins it out and makes a really nice antiquing cream of my own that, you know, you can make it in different colors. This one I think was the quinacridone gold, or it might have been, well, anyway, I can't remember the exact color, but you know, I've used a lot of different ones. I've used the Payne's Gray, which is a nice one too. So I'm just positioning my letters and using a T-square to try to make sure that everything's in about the same spot on these, because they're going to be shelf sitters or mantle sitters, and you want to make sure that when they're up there, they're not all cockeyed. So gluing those down, and then once I have those down, I'll use the varnish, and then I will use some archival ink on the edges to, you know, finish it off. And then I'll let that sit aside and dry and go on to something else.